with your guys, but working with Crowd Dog?
I mean, it's been good since day one. Myself and Crown, we've been on the same page, and that's been good to work with. Just picking his brain, working together, bouncing ideas off each other. It's been really good. So day one was really impressive. Just seeing the excitement of the guys, coming out. They attacked early. They was on point. For it to be day one with a lot of installs going on, they actually performed like a veteran group, which was very impressive when we watched the tape.
Zach, is what you guys are going to be teaching this spring a lot different than you taught previously?
Well, not really teaching a lot of things different from a scheme standpoint, because football is football in terms of coverages and things that you do. The one thing we're trying to just emphasize is just creating good habits, right? Trying to stack days, trying to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes twice, just trying to establish some discipline standpoint, and putting guys in position, stacking guys in position to see who's going to compete. I mean, that's the biggest thing is that I'm excited to see his guys step up and really been impressive off day one with, Marquise Gilbert and Jalen Simpson. Those guys have been really impressive on day one. But they're coming in the building a lot more. They're coming upstairs a lot more, and they're eager to learn because they all in a position to compete.
You mentioned Simp. We saw him yesterday at safety. I guess just kind of what is the plan for him in terms of position? He obviously finished the year at safety because of injuries. Played corner most of the year. You kind of do both. What's y'all's plan for him?
I think Simp have found himself a home. I think in his elite player that, if he handling everything that goes on with football and off the field, he can be a Sunday player. Just seeing his range, his athleticism, his ability to play man-to-man in the slot, the things that he can do, he can tackle well. So, his upside at that position is through the roof. If he embraces it and study the game like he should, I think he'll be a Sunday pick.
What do you think made him so successful last year when he had, I think both DK and Zion got hurt? What made him so successful throwing in those last few games?
Well, I think the one thing, anytime you change position, is always a little anxiety on, what's my role? I think the biggest thing is he had already had some experience coming in, playing as a true freshman, and then really just growing into that role, because for him it was just a veteran move for him. The biggest thing is buy-in. He bought into what the team needed him in that position, and he took it and ran with him, and you can see that as the season went on, he got better and better, and now I think he found himself at home that he can come out every day and control the defense, because he was a quarterback in high school, and now he's coming in a position where he has to make the checks on the back end, which way we're rotating, who's getting lined up, where the guy's going. So I think it just made him be more comfortable in being able to take control of the defense.
Zion Puckett, 203 pounds, 5'10". That's pretty thick for a safety. How's he looking so far?
Well, really, he knows what he has to do. I think from surgeries and injuries and things like that, but he still moved fairly well with the way that he's carrying. But we call him Teach Tape 10. He does everything perfect in terms of teach tape. So, but he had an impressive day. He does everything right from a technique standpoint. He's really the vocal guy. Everybody in the room, when they have a question, they go to Zion, because he actually studied the game. So he knows his ability, he knows his range, his football IQ is through the roof. So he's able to put himself in position at that size to be able to get everybody lined up and be in the right position every time.
And you mentioned King Bridges, I believe. He's added 20 pounds in the offseason. How's he moving with that extra weight?
He's moving pretty good. The strength staff out there did a phenomenal job with these guys, because every day I ask them, how do you feel? If they feel like they can carry the weight, I don't see it as overweight, but you worry about matchup issues at times. But those guys, man, I think they understand their bodies. They know how to move. They know how to put themselves in position to be able to cover guys and understand where the strength is on the coverage, where's my weaknesses at, where can I get beat, where I cannot get beat. So they're just smart football players that understand the leverage of the game. So for them, I haven't seen it yet. Obviously when the pads go on, how do they carry it with the pads on? But yesterday I thought they moved around really well.
Zach, who else? I know you like to work everybody in as many spots as possible, but who else getting the bulk of the work there?
Right now, actually, I'm creating a little competition with Keontae Scott running with the ones, and then obviously DK is behind them. I don't see them as they 1A, 1B, and then been trading Caleb Wood in there this spring just in terms of to get the depth right, but he has position flexibility. I mean, they all can play. Caleb can play safety, obviously DK can play safety, and then obviously Keontae can go out and play corner. And Nehemiah can go and play nickel. So with that, those guys have been trained for scenarios and being in different positions and understand that, hey, we need you in this position. So they all gonna move around. Right now, we kind of putting people stagnant. Week 1, going spring break, and then we'll start moving some guys around and find out what's the best fit for Auburn to be successful, going into the fall and then going into the season.
Zac, how does Ron Roberts' defense, known as being aggressive, how does it change the way your safeties or your defensive backs play?
Well, it really don't change. I mean, we want to be aggressive. We understand that up front, we got to stop the run first, and we're a part of the run fit, especially at the safety position. So really just attacking style. I mean, we want to create negative plays early, so how do we do that? We create the box, make sure that we make teams one-dimensional, and then when it's time for teams to throw the ball, we get in position and coverage to be able to go bracket guys, put guys in position to win a one-on-one. So this group is, like I said, they're a veteran group that played a lot of match and man coverages. So we feel like we can cover anybody in the country in terms of the skill set that we have on the back end, and then being able to move some things around and what Ron does and send the extra guys or whatnot. So it's really just, for us, it's just, okay, when we get our opportunity in man coverage, we got to win those one-on-ones. And then we want to take those coverages to bracket receivers and stuff. We got to make sure that the ball don't go there. We got to deny the ball.
Zach, how important is this spring for Kai and Lee? Not only him being here, a bunch more guys will get here at corner in the fall, but also, you guys don't have as many guys at corner as you do at safety, so you might have some more opportunities.
Right. It's really good for him because now we know we count on him. And for him to come in and learn the program, learn the playbook a semester early before a lot of guys, it kind of get him a step ahead to having a chance to go get on the field, and for him it's new. It's a fast-paced practice. He's learned on the fly. He's been really good at coming up, trying to spend extra time in the film room, which is probably new to a lot of high school players, is how to study film. How do I make myself better? How do I see the pre-snap? What's the split of the receivers? What's all that goes on in the film session? But for him, he's going to be a part of our defense that we're counting on. So, day one, texting with him last night, it was a little fast to him, but he's learning and he's eager to learn because he knows that this team is counting on him.
Zac, Coach Freeze has talked a lot about recruiting, put an emphasis on it, brought in 2 experienced coordinators so he could spend more time doing that. How much does it help an assistant coach like you when he is so involved in the process?
Oh man, it takes a lot off the assistant coaching because he have a team with him that's recruiting all day, and he's on the phone every day, all day with recruits. He'll come in your office, talking about kids, and you're like, Coach, I ain't talked to him. Well, I talked to him. Well, so it's fun to see him walking around, but he's 100 miles per hour right now. We recruit every day, all day, and we're doing that throughout the day. If a kid recruit call and we can get them on the phone as a top prospect, then let's take 5 or 10 minutes to get on with their family. So it's been good to just see him because, it's kind of at this point as assistant coach, like, Coach, we trying to watch ball, but he's walking down because all he got to do is recruit all day and let the coordinators do their job. But it's been really impressive to see the work he's put into recruiting. I think it's going to pay off for sure.
When you go through that first cycle, right? I know you had to play catch up a little bit last year, but do you feel like Auburn can recruit at the top of the SEC and the top of the country? Can you get back to that type of recruiting?
Oh, absolutely. I would be surprised if we're not, but with the response that we have from the families and the way we do things and the way we've been on FaceTime with families and things like that, it's just, recruiting just take time. It's just work and it's effort. So we're just who we are every day as staff. It's no egos. Everybody in there recruiting. Everybody's talking. We can pass the phone around and guys can get on with other recruits. So it's been good. But I feel like we're going to have a lot of top guys on campus this spring leading into the summer. And then hopefully, obviously, continue to pick up steam when you start winning games that guys want to be a part of something special in what we're building here.
I know it's not necessarily a lot of defensive backs, but the way y'all overhaul the roster, bringing in 21 new guys just in January, how does the whole group just feel about, the work y'all already put in?
Well, I mean, everybody's excited. I mean, we're excited about it. Everybody feels good about it. And now everybody in that room or on this team can never get complacent. You know what I mean? Because you're always trying to bring in elite guys. You're always trying to bring in guys, and they see it. I mean, the guys on the team see the guys that you're recruiting, so they want to make sure that they're doing their 111. They're doing their part every single day because, I mean, we're trying to bring in elite guys so we can go play for a championship, not wait 3 or 4 years. We're trying to go get it now, and we're counting on this 24 and this 25 class to be that next class to come in to help us get it to that.
Zach, what did you like about JD last season? He kind of, as the year went on, was playing a little bit more to the point now where he might be your number 3 corner heading in this year.
JD
Rim,
yeah. I mean, JD, South Georgia, obviously, the biggest thing about him, he has grit. I mean, he's a tough kid that don't shy away. I mean, he may look thin or whatnot, but again, he's aggressive. He's really smart and knowing what to do. But I mean, he's another one that can play multiple positions and do things well. So I mean, he understands the expectation. I tell him every day, you're not a freshman anymore. He wasn't a freshman last year because he had to step in critical situations. But I think he's learned the game of college football now. So from year 1 to year 2, I'm excited to see his growth and his potential and what he's able to bring to the team.
What are the major differences between, you talk about DK and Keontae playing that nickel spot, now the star with Ron Roberts? Is there any difference between the star and what you guys have done in the past at nickel?
No, it's the same. I mean, those guys, they do a lot of adjusting. I mean, they're what we like to call the scrappy guys, and those two are very scrappy, and they're not going to back down from anybody. They can play man-to-man. They can blitz. They can do a lot of different things. They can go in the box and play linebacker. So they're physical guys that can move around on defense, and they got to be smart to handle that. And those two have done a phenomenal job just on day one. And as the install progresses, you kind of see who's starting to struggle on the install, and then you'll see the thinking and things like that. But they'll be able to separate themselves, or either and we're just going to have really 2 good stars that can go out at any down, that can go play every time.
What's it like going out at practice and seeing Nehemiah and DJ still out there after those guys thought about going pro, and their decision to come back, just how huge it was for you?
Well, I mean, it's huge because now it helps JD, and it also helped Can Lee that they got veteran guys who obviously understand the foundation that's been laid, and they can watch them. So, but those 2 guys, obviously they're pros. They got to come to work every single day because they came back doesn't solidify a spot for them. And we recruited some guys that want to come in and play early. So, but just having their experience in the room always helps the secondary when you got 2 guys on the outside that can eliminate guys on the outside, and being able to go stop the run. If they can win their one-on-ones, hopefully they can do that. They chose to come back not only to help us win a championship and finish where they started, but both of those guys are trying to get a degree, before they leave. So that's the most important piece, is them trying to get a degree. But their veteran presence and how they show up every day and how they come in the film room is important for those young guys. So just seeing them, I mean, obviously the biggest thing is both of them is getting strong in the weight room. And I think they have tacked the weight room very well. And then how would that progress through the spring and the summer for them to be effective in the fall?
You talked about it a little bit earlier, but what's it like just working with Crime and having a room that you split with him now?
Man, I tell you what, I mean, it ain't a day go by that you ain't gonna get a great laugh with Coach Crime. You know what I mean? You guys know that, but I mean, he keeps the tension out the room and his sayings and everything. But I mean, just for us to get in the room and just talk ball and like how you play this, how you coach this, how you would teach this, what's your eye progression, just going through that and saying, hey, I've done it this way before, but what is your way, Zach? How do you see, can I teach this? Okay, you had tapes from last season that you have done that these guys have played. What film that you have? I mean, just us. Hey, Crown, what do you have from Florida? What do you have from Louisville that I can use? Just being able to work together and bounce ideas off each other. I mean, we haven't skipped a beat. I mean, we have no ego, man, and it's been really fun to work with him because we're picking each other's brain, and I'm learning probably more, and he's learning some too, just in terms of what it is. But it's exciting to come to work every day to work with a guy that
What's
there's
your,
no trying to
what's
go.
your single favorite crime scene? Like, what's your favorite one he always goes back to?
No question, top shelf, baby.
Zac is someone who practiced across the street and coached across the street. Anything different about coaching over here?
Oh man, I mean, the kids are spoiled, you know. I mean, that's the thing that you see. But I mean, it's exciting to see they get to walk into a facility and see the progression and things that Auburn has done over the years and what it continue to do in terms of to help develop the student athletes, right? And they can't take this for granted. I mean, every time you walk into this building, they should be grateful and thankful for the opportunity for the guys that laid their foundation before, and not only that, but you know, I'll support the boosters and things that they have been able to pour into the program to give them this opportunity. So, but I mean, just walking over here, walking around, I mean, we feel a little isolated. We talk about it all the time that we don't get to see everybody. Is really that, but now these guys come in as 2 levels. They can go downstairs and they can just walk upstairs and they're in your office. So now it creates that bond that you can spend a lot of time with the players because they don't have to go up 4 flights of stairs to get to a coach's office and things like that. So it's been good. So I'm excited to come in every day and have those guys come up every day, and they hang out in my office more than I do now because we always in the defensive staff meeting. So, and they appreciate that. So it's been fun. It's been really good.